let's talk about it because pain pain is still going on, and right now in the NFL, the Bills game, it's the Chargers are winning 3-0 against the Bills right now, and the Chargers are third and goal at Buffalo's 2-yard line. This is the Chargers' first game since they fired Brandon Staley. If they win this game, man, if they win this game, that would be absolutely insane. But anyway, though, let's talk about it because losing to the Steelers, not only losing to the Steelers, we got our ass kicked for the Steelers. And now we got to look at the fact that we are 0-5 in our division. But guess what? That does not matter at all when it comes to the playoffs. It really doesn't. What matters the most here is the fact that we did beat some key teams that are in the playoff hunt. Buffalo Bills, Indianapolis Colts. That is definitely a plus, right? And we're going to need some things to go our way to make the playoffs. If we win out the Chiefs game and the Browns game, which Chiefs game right now is going to be absolutely a trap. Because there's going to be a trap game in our favor. Because they're going to go into that game and they're going to think they're going to absolutely steampile us. And last time we got absolutely blown out was the Titans game. And then the following 4 games in a row, we won. Versus the Cardinals, Seahawks, Niners, and Bills. Obviously, we had Joe Burrow at the time. But yeah, we went on like a winning streak. And that would be a perfect time right now to get to a winning streak. Now, I do want to talk about the elephant in the room. If we do make the playoffs at the 7th seed position, which most likely we would be the 7th seed, we have to then play the number 2 seed, which would be the Ravens or the Dolphins. Following that up, if we beat the Ravens or Dolphins in the wild card, we would then have to play the Ravens or Dolphins in the divisional round, because then we'd have to play the number 2 seed and then the number 1 seed. So in order for us to go to the Super Bowl, and after tonight's loss, it's looking less and less likely, we would have to not only beat the Ravens or Dolphins, one of those teams, at least one team, and then the other team. And then the championship, we would play whoever's left. So technically speaking, it could be the 6th seed, in all honesty, if everything works out. And then we got to go to Super Bowl versus the 49ers. So it's not looking good. But this team's going to continue fighting. They're going to continue to try and make the playoffs. And they're going to continue doing everything they can possible. The Chargers hold on and win tonight. 19%. The Patriots beat the Broncos. 24%, right? But what I want to look at is like this, okay? If we were to win these next 2 games, which again, the trap game, this game's going to be the toughest game. We suck against the AFC North this year. But if we win the next 2 games, we sit a 78% chance to make the playoffs, okay? If the Ravens beat the Steelers in the final week of the season, we sit at a 78% chance to make the playoffs. The Dolphins beat the Bills, which I think is very logical. I'm trying to think about other logical games here. Raiders beat the Broncos. They have done it over the last 7 years. That's logical. And Texans beat the Colts. 100% to make the playoffs. So that's if, again, we win the next 2. Ravens win. Ravens, Raiders, Dolphins, Texans win. And we win the next 2. We are 100% in the playoffs if those situations happen. Now, can other things happen outside of those situations? Absolutely, right? Everything you see that is colored right here will help us get to that point. So, for example, if, this week the Chargers decide, okay, we're going to beat the Bills, and then the Patriots upset the Broncos, and then the Dolphins beat the Cowboys. Why did this matter? Because we want the Dolphins as far away from the wild card as possible, because we want them to knock out the Bills out of the playoffs. Falcons beat the Colts. Just based on this week, Bucks beat the Jags, we could walk out of this week. We could walk out of this week with, if we win out, with a 98% chance to make the playoffs. And if everything goes correctly for us this week and the Steelers lose to the Seahawks next week, 100% in the playoffs. So we control as much of our own destiny as humanly possible. Obviously, yes, we need things to happen and go our way, but we still control a lot of our future here. Again, then it comes down to what will we do in the playoffs, and that's really where the problem lies. Let's say, for example, we do go ahead and lose to the Chiefs, okay? But we beat the Browns. If we lose to both teams, we're out of the playoffs completely. What do we need to happen if we lose to the Chiefs but beat the Browns? Okay, Ravens have to beat the Steelers. Actually, no. Let's talk about the most important games. Most important game is Seahawks have to beat the Steelers. Next most important game here. What have we got the most important? Patriots beat the Broncos. Chargers beat the Bills. And I'm going to take that game off just because this video after tonight wouldn't make sense if that doesn't happen. Bucks beat the Jags. Browns beat the Texans. Chargers beat the Broncos. Titans beat the Jags. Ravens beat the Steelers. Jags beat the Panthers. Okay. Colts beat the Texans. Broncos beat the Raiders. 100% in the playoffs. Again, it's not really going to be easy, right? Now, you might say, well, this is bullcrap. Why don't we just lose out the rest of these games? Which, first off, that's not how any team thinks. No team will tank. Every team will fight to the very end. But why don't we lose every single game? Wouldn't this hurt us? Well, to answer your question, no, it actually wouldn't. So, right now, at this moment in time, we lost this game, right? Bam, okay? So, because we lost this game, we now sit at the final... Well, actually, no, sorry. We lost this game, my bad. We lost this game. If we lose out the rest of these games, we sit at the 17th overall pick. If we lose out one of them, we lose out, obviously, this game, but we win the next two, then we sit at the 18th overall pick. If we lose out the last two, we sit at 18th overall pick. My bad. 17th overall pick. If we win one, lose one, 18th. If we win two, then we sit at the 18th overall pick. So no matter what we do the rest of the season, we're going to be the 18th, 17th, or 18th overall pick. If we do nothing and still miss the playoffs, if we do it and we still miss the playoffs, 18th overall pick is the worst we would get. 17th if, again, we do make the playoff. 17th is if we lose out the last two games. So 17th, lose out two games, win one or win both, doesn't matter, 18th overall pick. Now, if we make the playoffs, then we're talking about 19th and beyond, right? Now, if we're one and done in the playoffs in the wild card round, which would most likely happen, we're going to be 19th. So the best case scenario is we're 17th. The worst case scenario is we're 19th. Again, worst case scenario is in the aspect of the farthest pick we go down if we don't win the Super Bowl. If we win the Super Bowl, we're 32nd. But the facts of the facts is, if we lose in the wild card round, we're going to be anywhere from 19th, again, would be most likely or worse. It's actually beyond 19th. I think it would be like 21st. But around that period. So 17th to 21st. That's kind of our scale right now of our worst case scenario and our best case scenario. So to those who are saying, let's just lose out, first off, that's not going to happen. They're not going to lose out. And not only are they not going to lose out, there's just literally, it's just not going to happen. Okay? I'm like thinking about the words to say at this point. The team is going to try to win every single game. And it wouldn't change anything for our draft order if we win or lose these last three games. At this point, because we beat the Vikings, Jags, Colts, that ship has sailed. We could have the number 6 overall pick if we would have lost out since Joe Burrow went down with injury. We didn't do it. Because of that, we now have to kind of sit in this bed we made, which is either go for a Super Bowl run and accept whatever pick you get in the end. Pretty much how it works. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.